Hi, and welcome to episode 21 of the Load Down podcast. This week we are celebrating the women of Download Festival, both on and off stage. And we welcome back Kate and Rosie to talk about the best sets from female musicians in Download history and count down our top female sets for Download Festival 2025.
This is the Load Down podcast. This is the Load Down podcast.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back, Kate and Rosie.
Good
Hi.
evening.
Good to be here.
Yeah, Kate. Let's start from the top. Kate might be sitting a little bit rigidly because Kate has done herself an injury today and put her back
I
out.
sneezed.
Kate sneezed at work and has injured her back, and that's why we do RIP.
Kate is officially 34.
No, it was really bad. It's been really bad. I mean, yeah, brushing my teeth, all of the things that you need to do to survive in life has been really hard.
Sounds like a good idea, coming and sitting in a shed
Yeah.
doing a
Yeah,
podcast.
it does,
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, brilliant. Bear with me if you hear some. It's just me.
So with less than 100 days now, aren't we? Johnny's
Yeah.
faffing around with the...
I'm just making sure we're on. and
Well,
we're
being recorded because it's happened time and time again. And we've
Yeah.
had to start again 10
Yeah.
minutes in. But yeah, you're nearly off on your big trip, aren't you?
Yeah,
You too?
well, we keep saying this because when we get back, it's not long till download, is it? Really?
No, I think it's like 5 weeks, I want to say, after we get back. So I'm getting more and more concerned that I haven't put on a single extra patch on my battle jacket.
Oh, yeah.
I bought loads last year and I was like, I've got loads of time.
Yeah,
There's loads and
I'd be
loads of
Take it on the
time.
plane with you. That's what you could do.
I've
Is a
got
bit
2
of a...
weeks.
Yeah,
Like,
I
2
won't.
weeks when I get back.
Yeah, so I've got like loads of patches that I need to put on. I was thinking of creating a whole new one, but I haven't got time. I've had
No.
12 months and I've not done it, and now I'm down to the wire. So
No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to. Yeah, 2 weeks I'll have, and one of them's going to be jet lagged. So,
yeah.
Yeah, you're off to see Jodie and Jesna, aren't you, over in Bali?
yes, we are.
Go-
Yeah,
go
looking
to
forward
Tokyo
to that. Yeah,
and
Tokyo,
Australia.
and then, yeah, finishing off in Australia.
Wow,
So,
amazing.
yeah, it's going to be a big one, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I'm doing Singapore and then we're all meeting up in Bali. So
Oh, cool.
no Tokyo or Australia for me. I've
Yeah.
seen enough of Australia.
Yeah,
So yeah, be
class.
good.
Singapore's good.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I did Dubai, Singapore and Bali
Oh, nice.
all together.
I didn't know you'd
Nice.
been
Cool.
to
So
Bali,
I'll let you
either.
know some tips on where to go.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's really good.
Yeah, you'll have to give, I had no idea you'd been.
Yeah, did like three
When was that?
weeks. I don't know. 7 or 8 years
When?
ago.
Oh,
maybe?
okay.
It was 2016.
You'll know which year it was, Mike.
It was 2016.
Sure, you seen it. You went
It's-
to Dubai first. You stayed in the Atlantis, the Palms.
That's why you didn't come
Oh,
to
it was.
download 2016.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Okay.
incredible. What a trip.
You,
Yeah.
you could have been stood in the rain with
Could have
us.
You
stood
could have
watching.
been. It's a bit of a shame actually because the Offspring are playing in Brisbane when I'm there.
Hmm.
But I did look into it, but the transport routes are just not good
Yeah, okay.
unless you don't want to have a beer.
Yeah.
And I do. So
Cool.
It's not
So how
on.
long between then? When you come back, you got 5 weeks to go.
I think I've got like 5 weeks, but you're in Australia.
yeah,
aren't you?
I think I've got 2 weeks pretty much. I was looking at it. I come back. I go back to work on the 27th of May. So not long, is it?
Oh, no, that'd be great.
No.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
3 months to go. So this week, because we're always late, and it was International Women's Day on Saturday. So we thought we'll have a bit of a chat around women at Download, both in terms of attendees and performers, and look at how that's changed over the years. Because I did a bit of some little sums today, did a bit of counting up, and just to see how it's changed over the years. So I think, well, how should we start off? I think what I want to do is, whenever you see this discussed on forums or on Facebook or whatnot, people always say female-fronted bands, and I don't like when people kind of dismiss any female performer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Why does it matter if you're a keyboardist, a drummer, a guitarist, bassist, or
Yeah,
whatever? So, I've done a bit of a list. Have you had a look?
I've had a look. I've put a list together.
Johnny's put a list together. So I put my top 5 sets this year. Have you written a top 5 as well? They'll probably cross
will,
over.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to start with a band who these are playing the Dogtooth stage on Friday. And to be honest, these are one of the bands just skipping through a playlist that someone put together. And I thought these are going to be huge.
Yeah.
And that is Gore. So Gore are an American band. And the singer, Hayley Roughton, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, please apologise. She is an excellent singer. She's got a real good scream on her. She's got some unclean vocals and a really strong, clean vocal as well. She's also a NASA engineer.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah, which I thought was really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Um,
cool.
Real facts.
Yeah, they've only got 5 songs out at the minute, but
She's busy.
she's busy. Yeah, yeah. Pull your finger out early. She's I really like you've had a bit of a listen, Rosie, as well.
Yeah, I
haven't
really
you?
like them as well. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
good.
they're good.
They've got a little bit of Spirit Box in there, a bit of Bring Me.
Yeah,
Also, yeah, quite a few different things going on.
They seem really likable and personal as a band as well. I think they come across really,
Yeah,
really well. I've done a few interviews with them.
yeah, and
That's
I've
really
seen a few people say they think they're going to be one to watch in the future. So
So when's that, Friday?
Friday, quite early on in the Dogtooth stage, about 2 or 3 o'clock. But I think they're doing sort of the first world tour.
Mm-hmm.
They're releasing singles kind of periodically, but definitely one to watch for me. So my number 4, I put Kitty.
Yeah.
So Rosie, you were very excited by Kitty.
I am a
Going
big
back.
Kitty fan. Yes, I liked them back in the day. The new album is so good. I think you said you had listened to it.
I'd listened to it today because when Kitty were announced and you were excited, I thought I'll go back and listen to the back catalogue. And I thought it's quite rough,
It is,
isn't
yeah.
it? It's
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
punky,
Yeah.
as well as being heavy.
It's off that era, isn't
Off
it?
the
Like
era,
Jack
yeah.
Off Jill.
Yeah,
and
Yes.
yeah, late 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s. We were like big into
Hole
it when,
and,
when we were like
I
teenage
haven't
girls.
listened to them since
yeah.
then. To be honest, like the really early stuff.
Well, to be honest, neither had I until I went to Sonic Temple last year. And I was just browsing the lineup
Oh,
of Sonic
yeah.
Temple and they were on. And I was like,
Class.
fucking hell, Kitty, I hadn't heard them in years.
You sent
So I
me a
went to
track
see
them.
them. They were really good.
Yeah.
And then the new album came out last year.
Yeah.
Lost all track of time. I think it was
Yeah.
last year, wasn't it? Yeah.
Fire came out June 21st,
Yeah,
2024.
and it was really, really good. It's a
It's-
really strong album.
Yeah.
It's in parts really heavy. Bits of it reminded me of Creator.
Yeah. it does
Some
a
of
bit-
some of the
bit
guitar
thrashy.
work.
Yeah.
Some bits reminded me of almost quite really heavy vocals, and then other bits reminded me of Hailstorm.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that
Really
album
well
today.
produced, that album as well.
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like absolute perfection.
Yeah, I just put it on today when I was doing some work.
Brilliant.
I thought this is excellent. Do you want to throw one in, Johnny?
So I've got obviously Spirit Box.
Yeah.
I think
Spirit
probably
Box.
Yeah.
A
Really,
huge-
really good.
Pull this year.
I think Spirit Box are the band I'm most looking forward to on
Really?
the whole
Yeah.
lineup.
That's
yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
great.
I'm a massive Spirit Box fan.
Have
I've
they
never
played
seen
in
them
previous
before.
years where we've been?
They played in 2022. They were originally booked for the Dogtooth stage,
Right.
and they blew up before that. And everyone shouted out to Download saying, "You need to put these on an outdoor stage."
Mm.
They bumped them up to Avalanche, and you couldn't get near.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, that was telling, wasn't it? I
Yeah.
guess.
I think we'll talk a bit later about who we think is in the running for headlining Download in the future. And I think Spirit Box are probably
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah,
first in line.
What do we make of the new album then?
Tsunami Sea.
Mm.
I love it. I've been listening to it all week. That and
Yeah.
Lady Gaga's new album have been on
A little crossover.
rotation, like a real crossover, but works really well.
Yeah, I bet.
Works really well. Yeah, I love it.
I've mixed. I think some of it's half and half for me. Some of it's really strong, and some of Courtney came out this week and said she thinks people are getting sick of overproduced bands. I was thinking that's a little bit, pot calling the kettle black, because I think it's really heavily produced.
It is. I think it's very different, though. I think it's a very different sound to a lot of the new sort of the metal albums that we see coming out recently.
Yeah.
It sounds very, very different.
Yeah.
So while I agree, it is it's not exactly like a raw, stripped back album, is it?
No.
But I think it is very different, and I think it brings something different to it. I really, really liked it.
Yeah. There's some belting tracks
There
in
are.
there. I absolutely love it.
What was the one you were saying before?
I already
Is the
forgot
new
the name
is
of it.
the single, the last single he brought out, the newest single before, just a couple of weeks before the album came out? Is it called like No Love, No Loss or something like that? The latest single. It's really good, and it's very, very different.
I like
No Loss, No
Oh, yeah, No
Love.
Loss,
yeah.
No
Love.
Loss, No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
really, really good.
and Soft
Soft
Spine.
Spine.
My
Yeah.
Excellent
favourite off there.
My favourite one was Keep Sweet.
Oh, okay.
I really like that one. I
Mhm.
thought that it was one of the first ones that made me kind of, stand up and pay a bit more attention. So I'm just bragging that I can.
No.
Stretching your back.
I felt a bit jealous. Yeah.
But I honestly think she is like an icon. I think she
Yeah.
is paving the way for some real up and coming bands.
Blessed, you see the picture people had shared from it was like a news article bigging them up, but it was just the worst picture. She's just like,
yeah.
it was absolutely awful.
It does feel like with Spirit Box and with Courtney, you get these bands every now and again, especially when you've got like a sort of a woman singer or a female fronted band, and it kind of reminds me of when sort of Evanescence started to come up and Amy
Yeah.
Lee suddenly
Yeah.
became this like
Yeah.
icon.
Yeah,
It kind of feels like that with
Yeah,
her
it
and
does
with
actually.
them.
Yeah.
Like it's a real moment for them, and I'm really excited to see what they do at
Yeah, me
Download.
too.
And I totally agree. I know we're jumping forward, but I think if they keep on the trajectory that they're on,
Yeah,
I can absolutely see them taking that headline spot in the
yeah.
future.
I mean, they didn't form that long ago, really. What we're talking about this side of 2015. After they
wow.
left I Wrestled a Bear once, but
Oh,
since like 21, 22, they've really
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
made
They
huge
they had
strides.
that last, didn't they, on was it Britain's Got Talent?
Yeah, Harper.
He played Harper, yeah. She
yeah.
played
Last
last
year.
year, yeah. And that obviously made them go viral again, didn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another viral moment. Did you see them at the Grammys when they got
She got mistaken for Poppy.
Yeah, because that's what we're going to move on to the next one, which is Poppy.
Poppy.
But what a really fucking brilliant moment.
She handled it
she does
so
well with
well.
it. She could have stopped and said no, she's just so cool about it.
I love it when you see people just ride with stuff and be funny with things.
Yeah.
The one I always liked, and just going off totally on a tangent, was Randy Blythe when he got stopped by the security guard.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, he's going up
absolutely.
on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like really apologetic, and he's like, "No, don't apologize. You're doing your job." And he was like, I respect that. And he was like really cool
Yeah,
there.
it's a decent guy.
Yeah. But yeah, Poppy. Moving on to Poppy.
Yeah.
Have you listened to her album yet?
I haven't. I was listening to her this weekend because Glenn's been listening to a lot of Poppy
Cool.
randomly, and he's really looking forward to go to see her. He's like, yeah, no, if there's no Clash, I'll absolutely go see
Yeah.
her. If you put her on shuffle on
It's
Spotify,
mad.
it's mad.
Crazy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It sounds like there's 3 or 4 different artists that are popping up. Like every song is completely different.
Yeah.
So no, I confess
I've not listened to Poppy, so that's one.
I quite liked some of the singles back in the day. That was it X and I Disagree and songs like that. She did some with Fever 333, excuse me. But this new
Yeah,
album
yeah.
with Jordan Fish
Yeah.
is just a
it's
just a
great.
solid album, and
Yeah.
and I put it on today again and just thought this is bang on, and I think she'll have a bit of a moment off that.
Yeah.
Obviously she performed with Knocked Loose
Not loose on
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
definitely.
think she's since been back and done it on her own
On her
as well,
own.
I think.
Yeah, it's a really good album. I'd recommend anyone give that a listen. It's really heavy in parts, and obviously she can be quite silly at times as well.
Yeah.
I think it makes for quite an interesting and diverse mix. So
I think what I like is that they're obviously all in competition with each other almost, all these bands.
yeah,
But they all big each other up.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's giving them all the momentum. Because a part of, like you say, a bit like of a scene that we saw
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in Evanescence.
Yeah.
Bit of a movement that they're all pushing and pushing, and I can feel them all like kind of rising to the top.
Yeah.
You can see it on the bills, on festivals and everything. Okay,
yeah. When you look at any festival across the world, you've got your Bad Omens getting at the top. You've
Yeah.
got Spirit Box. You've got Sleep Token, obviously,
yeah.
and they're all bringing each other through. I think, which
Have
is
you
great.
seen the performance, and I don't know what festival it's at, but you can watch it on YouTube, and it's Spirit Box playing Circle with Me, and Tatiana from Ginger comes out and sings it with her.
Cool. No,
It's so good.
check that out.
What a combo that is. It's such a good performance.
Yeah.
A bit of an honourable mention for Ginger because I'm really looking forward to them. They haven't made my list, actually.
They made my list.
Yeah, they've made mine as
Made
well.
my
You-
list.
You can go on to them.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can't
well-
remember how good they were
Oh,
in
no,
2023.
that's it. I
That's
was
the
asleep.
problem.
Yeah.
But another band that I've shared with you guys today, who I've been listening to, is Unpeople.
Oh,
So they're one of the bands that have popped up so many times on people saying these are one to watch.
Really?
They're going to be really big. Seem to be getting a load of hype behind them. The previous permanent bass player, Meg Marsh, is currently not playing with the band due to mental health issues, but currently playing with the band. I'm not sure if she's a permanent member or not, because it's not like established bands where they got like a big wiki page and all that. It's just going off like statements and whatnot. Emily Lodge from this is where my rating's absolutely shite.
you're the only person I've seen made notes in joined up. Like you're doing a
I think it says Delay the Liar. And she also provides backing vocals. You like that song I sent today?
Oh, yeah.
I sent through The Garden, was it called?
Think so.
And it's really good.
Yeah.
Really. It's almost like heavy indie at times.
Yeah, it is.
His voice reminds me a bit like of it might have Billy Talent as well.
Yeah, does a bit.
Really. And I think three of them sing together. It sounds
that's
really
cool.
good. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be really big. So
Where are they?
they are also on. I think they're also on 4th, and I think they're on the same day as Gore, but I might be wrong.
Cool.
So yeah, that's my any in your
stuff.
list for this
The
year.
other one I've got is Novelists,
Novelists.
which I've come across before. We started listening to a bit more recently. Really good. If you haven't listened to them, check them out. Get a mixture of all sorts in there. Bit proggy. I like it when they go into like that kind of melodic breakdown.
Yeah,
I always compare them to like Tool and Carnival.
yeah. I was going to say that's the one
Yeah.
that had a bit of carnival.
But it's very much like that. It's
Sounds good.
nice to listen to, but then there's some really heavy bits in there as well. So
So I did a bit of some sums today because I thought I wonder how much times have changed at download. You know, now there's always a worry for me of tokenism.
Yeah.
I don't want bands to kind of just get forced at the top and then it not last, if you know what I mean. And I think the reason we don't have female headliners consistently today is because it wasn't supported as well back in the day. And I think so. What I did was I looked at the percentages. So 2003, the first ever download, it was only 2 days, but we had 56 bands play, and out of those 56 bands, there was only 5 women.
right.
5 bands with female performance in them, so that's 9%.
Wow.
In 2005, it was the first 3-day festival. There was 99 bands, 9 of them, and it was also 9%. This year, there's 112 bands playing, and there are 28 with female members, and that is 25%.
That's cool.
So I think that's quite a jump, which is good to see.
It is, and I think it makes for a much more interesting lineup as well. Like when the lineup got announced, I clocked it straight away. I was like, God, there's loads of women on this.
Yeah.
Like when you like scroll through it as a thing, you think, wow, this is like, there's so many. Because when I, was doing sort of a bit of research, knowing we were going to do this today, and I was like, how many women have I actually seen play at Download? I've been going since 2010.
Yeah.
And I went through it, like every poster of every lineup and every band. And out of all those years, what was that, 15 years, something like that?
Yeah.
16 bands I've seen with women play,
Wow.
which is shocking considering I'm someone who looks for them. I
Yeah.
make a conscious
Yeah,
effort
yeah,
to
yeah.
be like, where are
Yeah,
the women on
exactly.
this? Like, is there a new? Because I love listening to women singers and women performers. 16 is in 15 years is pretty
Yeah, no,
shocking.
Yeah,
that's-
it is actually, isn't it?
There must be some we've forgotten, because I think I got 13, 14 for me,
Yeah.
and you've been to more downloads than me.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I really looked, and there might be some, my memory's like, there's probably, you'd know more about the bands that I saw when you weren't there.
So we've got a lot. So just to throw out a few more names, we've got Amira Elf. Okay, some of them I can't pronounce or read. We've got Bex, Cradle of Filth, Dead Pony, Eagles of Death Metal, Evor, Fairtooth,
Yeah.
Gore, Harpy, Holy Wars, Ginger, Karen Dio, Kim Dracula, Kitty, Lolo, Mothica,
Yep.
Novelists, Poppy, Starset, Sophie Lloyd, Spirit Box, Svalbard, another great band.
Yep.
The Haunt, the Meths, who saw supporting Alice Cooper. They were really good. Venus Girls.
Venus Girls
Yeah.
are very good.
Yeah.
I really like them.
It's an all female band, isn't
All
it?
female, very
Yeah.
like riot girly, bit
Yeah,
goth.
that's cool.
Like if I was 17, 18, I'd want to dress like them.
Yeah.
Like really, really cool. They've got some really good songs. I'm going to go and I think they're in like playing Forth
Yeah, cool.
on like the Saturday or the Sunday. So I'll probably go check them out.
We've got Vows, Unpeople that we mentioned, and obviously headlining second stage is Within
Yeah,
Temptation.
look forward to
Brilliant.
them.
So there's some great bands there. And like I was saying about the 2003 thing, if we've got 25% of the lineup that are with female musicians now, there's going to be in 20 years,
Yeah.
it'll grow again, but these bands will be moving right up the
Yeah,
ranks.
absolutely.
Yeah, there's that, isn't it? And it's the audience, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who you're inspiring. And
Well, that's a big one for me. I haven't mentioned Fever 333, but when we saw them in 23,
Oh, yeah.
the bass player was a black lady, I can't remember her name, and in the crowd, but she stopped, didn't she,
She did,
and just
yeah.
burst into tears. And there was a young black girl there, like
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know if she's holding a sign up or something
she was,
like
singing
that.
away, I think.
And
Yeah.
she was absolutely
Yeah.
she was like really moved by it.
Yeah.
And that's what you get, isn't it?
yeah, being represented.
Yeah,
I
and,
really-
and she
yeah.
might pick up the bass.
Yeah.
I think I want to be like her. And all these young girls that go now, the Download family element has got bigger and bigger. You get these young lasses, like before you take Emily or whatnot, you'll go, well, they're all doing it, so I'll do it as
Yeah.
well.
It's a bit of a funny one, this one. I always compare it to, so we work in a very engineering heavy industry, don't we?
Yeah.
And women engineering is on the up, which is fantastic, but nowhere near where it should be. And I compare it to the same kind of principles as what that is.
Yeah.
And it's making the space for them to be able
Yeah,
to come
yeah, to
through,
invest
to
in them,
inspire them,
yeah.
invest in the time in
Yeah.
them, making changes so that they feel comfortable coming through the ranks of bands and stuff. I think it was Hannah from Creeper shared something the other day, and it was like, why do you not feel like there's enough, or why isn't there many females in bands? And it's like, well, for one, you need to make sure that your backstage dressing areas aren't just one dodgy cupboard that everyone goes in together. You need to make sure they're separate,
Yeah.
because looking back, it'd just be a load of blokes getting dressed in there and they won't give a shit. There's certain things that venues and promoters and that need to change to make it a comfortable place for women to come and represent.
Absolutely. It's, things you don't really think about.
Yeah.
What to ponder there.
But I think it's good. I think it's great. 25%, still not where it should be, is it? But
It's going in the
much
right
better than
direction,
fucking
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10%.
And like you said, it needs to not be like tokenism almost. It
No.
needs to not be forced, and it
Absolutely.
doesn't feel forced this year.
Hmm.
I think all of those bands, especially, when you see some of those bigger ones, they absolutely just deserve the spots that they've got on that lineup.
Yeah.
Spirit Box, Within Temptation,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Kitty, Poppy, all these bands have got massive fan bases, and they deserve the spots that they've got. So it doesn't feel like it's just
It's not
women on the
artificial, is it?
lineup
No,
for the
it's
sake
not.
of it to
making
tick
a
a box.
quarter or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, it's almost like anything, isn't it? Sport. You've got to almost push that grassroots bit to get good things at the top.
Mm.
You can't just stick someone who's never done it, or just gone, right, you meet this criteria, we're going to stick you right in the England squad.
Yeah.
And then they don't survive in that environment, and it doesn't happen, rather than just build up this rich
Well, it
thing
only
going
feels
forward.
like yesterday where it felt like when you saw females screaming, you were like, what the fucking hell? It just didn't, for some reason, it just didn't not feel right, but it didn't.
No, I mean,
Let's did it, and you go in, and it almost felt a bit like a gimmick at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that band with the lass that screams.
Yeah.
There's always something like that.
back to
But-
like
Yeah, like
arch
when kids do
enemy.
it,
and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it always felt like that. But now it's absolutely the norm, and it works so well.
Yeah.
And I think Spirit Box are absolute
Yeah, Spirit Box and Ginger, I
peak
think.
of doing that.
Yeah.
I love it when they go from heavy screaming to
The
like
most black-
angelic
angelic.
voices.
Some of the
it's
Ginger songs and what Tatiana
Yeah.
can do with her
Yeah.
voice,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
That gave me goosebumps when we watched them at Download.
They're
You
off-
were fast asleep.
I'm amazed you got goosebumps at that festival.
Oh, yeah.
Sweating.
I'm ginger. Why? But yeah,
I think in many cases as well, because to do it, they have to do the technique right to produce that voice. It's not like a bloke doing it, because so many blokes doing unclean vocals wreck the voice. Matt Heafy, loads of them ended up having to have vocal surgery, can't scream the same, can't then sing, where the girls come out and it's almost like a perfected, almost like a classical sort of training.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's
So, like,
it's difficult to talk about, isn't it, as a bloke, because I don't want to seem like, I don't know, you got to. I was laughing before with Johnny because I said we're going to look great out. We were giving the girls one mic between them to share. There's
The
representation.
patriarchy strikes again.
We're sat on the comfy seats. You sit on
Yeah,
your,
let's do it.
you sit on
We're
your stools
under
with
a
your one
blanket.
shit mic.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So we'll have a quick go on. Let's move on to. Let's go for the top 5. Shall we? Have you compared notes, or you're just going to riff on what you
I've
enjoyed?
got my top 5.
I've got mine, but I've cheated and I've picked out other festivals.
That's totally
That's
wrong.
not
Well, it depends which top 5 you're asking. Like that we've ever seen.
a female
Download.
fronted or female performers at Download.
Yeah, well, I've branched out.
Well, that's cool,
I
mate.
haven't.
But
I
they-
stuck to
but
the
they could
rules.
Play it download,
Yeah.
and they've been meant to,
If they're potential download
and they've
bands, I'll
probably
let
played,
it
but
slide.
I didn't see him at download.
Yeah,
So
I'll check the old.
I'm being condescending, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
this is like Uno. We make our own rules up. You
You're
can't.
not playing by the rules of the game.
No.
Well,
So-
I've got mine.
Go for it, mate.
Right, I'm going to go for it. So, special mention, because didn't make my top 5, but they're one of the best bands I've like discovered in recent years, which is Hawks. Loved
Very good,
them.
yeah.
they were
Really
good.
loved them. Still listen to them now. They played 2023, the hot year. Yeah, 23.
Yes.
Loved them. So special mention to them, but they're not in my top 5. So I am sorry to Hawks, but it was a hard pick.
Yeah,
So number 5, I've got Creeper last year.
fantastic.
great.
That was excellent.
Fantastic, loved it. What a performance! What a show they put on.
Yeah,
It was cold, it was wet, it was muddy, but still,
Yeah,
it was great. Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a female. You got Hannah, obviously,
Yeah,
Hannah
yeah.
Greenwood, who is a brilliant piano and keyboard
Yeah.
player, and
Great
what a
vocalist.
vocalist.
Yeah.
Great vocalist. Some of my
And
favourite Creeper songs
one
are
of the-
with Hannah singing.
The difference from when I first saw Creeper at Download 2017, when Hannah was at the back of the stage, she had a jacket on, jeans, like totally like just rigid, pretty much just singing and playing. To seeing her now, absolutely commanding the stage.
Yeah, it's great.
She is fantastic.
they've done a couple of gigs recently where Will's been poorly,
Yeah,
and she stepped in and done
Oh,
the whole
really?
gig. And it's
Yeah,
on
yeah.
on
That'd be
YouTube.
cool.
It's
but
really cool.
Creeper being Creeper turned it into like a special event. What they like call it, like they called it something like the night of the,
Oh, okay,
something, and
yeah.
made a big kind of spectacle of it, which is really cool. I think Creeper are fantastic at that, and yeah, Hannah, one of my favourite female vocalists. I think
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it more. Really.
I would. That's
I
my
did.
only thing is I would like to, and the live performances, like the shows and stuff. I would like to hear more of her. She tends to get like a song.
Yeah,
You get like backing vocals. I would
Yeah.
like to see more of her.
I think that's my only criticism of the latest album. There was because they did that Download, and on the live performances they did Lovers Led Astray,
Yeah,
and she comes out and sings the back
yeah,
end of
yeah.
it, which would have been better. It'd have been better like that on the album.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah,
Good choice.
Creeper, my number 5. Number 4, and it was a tough one, Evanescence 2023.
Mm,
I know, Mike, you had a bit of a rough time during Evanescence. Probably not your favourite set that
See,
you've ever
they were
seen.
fantastic.
But they were fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was me and you on it, Johnny, with
Was me.
Drew.
I know.
And I think by the end, the 3 of us were in tears. And what I remember most is...
In my closet.
Yeah. Everyone was crying.
I could have done with it. I was trying to find some. I was at the medical tent where someone poured water in my eyes.
But I just remember we were all knackered. It was the Friday. We'd gone really heavy on the Thursday
Yeah.
night.
Mm,
We were all a bit knackered. We watched Within Temptation. We were sat on the ground. And I remember you saying to me, Johnny, mate, we're going to have to get it together.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get it together.
Yeah.
And Evanescence came on, and by the time they finished, we were raring to go for Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
And it totally, it just changed the vibe.
Did.
They were unbelievable.
I've got them as my number one.
Oh, have you?
I have.
Yeah.
Because I was absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
Like roller coaster, emotional. Honestly, but Jesus Christ, their vocals are just cut right through you. They're so haunting.
Yeah.
But what a band! The whole band.
And
so
16
tight.
years between them playing Download seems mad.
The only thing
yeah.
is,
Why were they?
second.
Why were they on
That
second?
was,
It's
it was
mental.
a
I was just about
disaster
to say,
waiting
I
to
know.
happen, to be honest. The amount of people that were there.
Oh no, it was a lot of
They
people.
were. It was literally on the verge of becoming very unsafe.
Yeah, getting you out to that mess.
Yeah.
Getting through that was the worst timing.
But other than that, fantastic.
And then
was.
Amy Lee's performance with Bring Me when
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a special moment.
chilling
Yeah, it
out.
was-
That
We
was
watched
quite
it.
a
So
moment.
Drew was Ellis was there. I think.
Yeah.
Because I remember she was stood next to us, and she's an incredible singer.
Yeah.
And she was singing along to it. I was like, oh my God, it's like having a surround sound. It was so good, like harmonising and that.
They were so
made it.
good.
Yeah, it was
So
good.
they very well could have been my number one, but there are reasons they're not. So number 3 is The Warning in
Oh, yeah, I've got
2023.
them as
That was
number
good.
3. Yeah.
Because I'd heard a few of the songs. We all went to see them. Was it the Friday? They opened second. They
early,
were
wasn't it?
first on second.
Yeah.
It was really early.
Mm.
Don't think Drew or your dad had heard much of them or if anything. And we all went to see them.
I think Drew
and
had.
they
Yeah.
absolutely smashed it.
Yeah, they were great.
And I remember going to the lining up for the merch queue and spent 40 minutes in the queue chatting to people. And there was a guy who was stood behind me. And I just said to him, what merch you after, what shirt? And he was like, I'm literally just queuing up to see if they've got a Warning t-shirt because they were so good.
Yeah.
And it was like they were the talk of the day of how good they were, and they really smashed it.
Yeah.
And they've just, again, another band that
Yeah.
are on the up.
Massively.
And it's great
I
to
think they've
see.
blown up since.
Yeah.
Even since
Yeah, they
then.
have.
Their album that they brought out again, I think that might have been last year, maybe the end of the year
think it was.
before. Very, very good.
They get a lot of TV time. They're all over all the talk shows and their bands after.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely brilliant.
I mean, they are beautiful women.
I was just
All
about to
three of
say,
them are
I knew
beautiful
what you would have
women.
said if you didn't feel comfortable saying it. I would say they are 3 gorgeous
Oh.
women who are incredibly talented.
But
It
they are
doesn't surprise
incredibly
me.
talented.
Yeah.
There's no.
No.
They back it up with being incredible musicians.
Yeah.
I thought they were fantastic in Download 2023, and when I saw them on festival lineups this year, they were one of my top on my wish list. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit gutted there, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be back. Probably, I could see them being pretty high up on second stage. Maybe,
Afternoon on first, something like that.
Yeah,
early on
maybe fourth
first,
down where Poppy is.
Yeah.
We spoke about it before, I think, where we met one guy who had just come for the day to see The Warning
yeah, we did.
and then left.
Yeah.
As soon as he played.
That's mad, isn't it?
It's mental.
You just stay though, would you?
Yeah.
Right.
That was
Literally
just-
There'll
came-
be something there for
It's
you.
in
Some
done.
of it.
But yeah.
So yeah, number 3, The Warning. So number 2, and it was a toss-up between my number 2 and my number 1. So number 2 is Nightwish,
Oh.
2016.
Nightwish are my number 1.
Are they?
That was
Yeah.
There was a lot of things that went right for that performance.
There was,
And
yeah.
Our vibe was one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. We were vibing. But for me, and you'll sort of back me up on this, I was never a Nightwish fan.
No.
Teenage years, 2000s, Nightwish were everywhere. Every goth night you went to,
Yeah.
Nightwish were playing. I couldn't get on board with, is it Tarja?
No.
Yeah, I couldn't get on board with the voice, and it's just a personal thing. She's incredibly talented. It was just not the voice for me. And I remember you saying, just give them a go at Download. We'll go in, and we went to watch him. And Flor Jansen,
Oh yeah, that.
what a woman!
Jesus
What a
Christ.
voice!
Yeah.
And it completely changed that music for me, having her voice in the mix.
It's
Did
the
she
yeah.
rehearse for that? Well, I don't know if it was that particular gig. Was it Wacken?
It was Wacken, yeah.
Just rehearsed on the plane.
Pretty much on
It's
the
a
plane
great
for that
documentary,
too.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah,
I've never seen them.
Ah,
oh,
I don't think I've ever
Is the
seen.
guy from Cumbria?
yeah.
he's-
Troy Donegal.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like from Whitehaven. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
She's really random.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was Elan Pipes.
I've never seen them, but what's the song they do at Wacken, that live?
Ghost Love Score.
Oh
Irish
my
Idol,
God.
innit? Oh,
I like
watched
Irish
that on
Idol.
repeat.
That's the one from Wacken
Yeah.
that I like.
Yeah.
When
and
I'm older,
Everdream. That,
Yeah.
that
when I'm
key
older,
change.
I've lost my marbles. Just put me in my wheelchair in front of a telly
Yeah.
and just have that on repeat, and I'd be absolutely happy.
Yeah, that-
With a beer in hand.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
a beer, it's just insane. What a What a video.
No, that's number one.
Number
Number one.
Painkillers
for
have
me.
kicked in.
Number one for me because it was just brilliant, wasn't it? And it was
Where did they play?
They subbed Iron Maiden on
Did they?
the
Yeah.
Sunday, yeah. That
Was it dark or not?
No.
No.
It's muddy.
It was so
Very
muddy.
muddy,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was mud. It was just water,
It was
wasn't
just-
it?
it was just being in a
you were just
lake, wasn't
flooded.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were unbelievable,
yeah.
and it just changed how I now listen to Nightwish,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I never before.
Yeah.
So yeah, and my number one is Hailstorm, but specifically Hailstorm in 2010
Okay.
because they played in a tent, and I don't know
Wow.
which one. I think it was Third, and I'd never really listened to them before. I'd heard a couple of the songs.
Yeah.
I knew like I Get Off and Familiar Taste of Poison. And I was with Jodie and Emma, and we were walking past the tent, and I heard them playing Familiar Taste of Poison, and I was like, oh, I know this song.
Hmm.
And I went in, I was like, can we just go in? And we went in to watch them. So I think I only caught like maybe the last half of the set or something
Yeah.
like that. But Hailstorm are now one of my favourite bands. I think
Yeah.
I've seen them more than any other band. I listen to them constantly. I
Class.
adore Lizzie Hale.
Yeah.
And that performance, just getting to see them in that tent, sealed the deal for me that I love this band.
Yeah.
So I've seen them since. They were on 23. I think we saw them in 16.
Did we see him?
16, when the bus took ages
Yeah, we nearly missed them.
because of the weather being that bad.
So we
we
had
saw
the
him-
giant drumsticks.
Yeah, he always
Yeah,
does. doesn't he?
yeah.
Then
It's always a
2019,
novelty,
we saw them headline second stage.
Yes,
Saw them-
That's the one I think.
Yeah,
yeah.
we saw them in 23.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I've got down as my number two.
Yeah, that's my
Hailstorm
number
at 20,
two.
At 20,
And-
23.
And yeah, me, Rosie, and Dad went to see him in Manchester as well. And you've seen him in Manchester, didn't you?
Yeah,
Would you-
yeah.
When you partied with them.
We did. That was
did.
yeah,
Oh,
that was really
I
cool.
just told
Yeah,
him
they
that.
were really nice as well.
Yeah, like really nice. It just makes you love them even more because
Yeah.
they were all absolutely sound, weren't they? And Lizzie's such a babe, and
Hmm.
they gave us free drinks and then
Yeah,
just
they did.
disappeared, and we never saw them again.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's I think with the right album, I think they just need one little nudge and they'll be
They
right
do
in the
just
top of
need
the
a
bill.
little
Yeah,
boost up, and
definitely.
yeah, for sure.
I think it's everyone just needs that moment, don't they? Like Ghost have had it, they get a TikTok hit
Yeah,
or a
that's
big
it.
video
Yeah,
or
you're right,
something,
actually.
and
Yeah.
it puts them in the stratosphere. And I think Hailstorm, they've got the performances are always absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The voice is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good to see them at night.
Yeah, because he played
Actually,
early when
yeah,
and
they
the
did.
Slipknot thing,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Yeah.
And we'll
So,
be
yeah.
seeing them again
Oh,
supporting
yeah,
Oh,
Spotlight
yeah,
Maiden.
supporting Maiden.
in June
That'd be excellent.
or July.
And
is it?
June.
June, end of June.
are they at back to the beginning?
You know,
Fucking hell,
probably.
everyone is, aren't they?
Yeah, no,
think-
they are.
Yeah.
They are, yeah.
Are they as a band or is it just?
Who knows?
It might just be Lizzie.
There's just going to be me, you, and the bands sat in a stadium.
That's the 60,000.
Yeah.
It's making it.
But yeah, so that's my top 5.
Brilliant, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hailstorm.
I
I'm trying to think how I deviate from that,
yeah,
and I
go on,
can't get
mate,
my
you go
phone
yours.
out because my back. See, one of mine's a bit of a caveated one, and it's based on other performances I've seen and a kind of robbed opportunity for baby metal. I think Sue
okay.
Metal is one of the. I just think she's brilliant. Bringing the J-pop, doing it in a
yeah.
way that's not overly sexualizing it either, which you can get a little bit with that sort of
Yeah,
thing. And it's I don't know, it just brings a grittiness to the kind of J-pop scene and a J-popness to metal, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
clever the way they do
Yeah.
it. So, and I've seen them, when they've been brought on stage before with Bring Me and things like that, and yeah, I just think they're really cool, to be
Yeah.
honest. And
Yeah,
yeah, I was really sad for them that.
I thought they might come straight back, to be honest,
Yeah.
because
I said this. I was
yeah.
hoping that they'd come back
Yeah.
because it was such a shame.
yeah,
They were just getting into it. They were sounding great. And
Yeah. well,
Everyone
'cause-
around us as well was
Yeah.
very excited.
Yeah.
You could see they had a real crowd there specifically just to see
Oh,
them. They
God,
weren't just
yeah.
waiting
I
around.
know. I feel sorry for anyone who was.
And,
Yeah.
and we'd missed out on seeing them. Were they booked for 2020? I've got a feeling they were.
I think you're right.
And yeah, I was also gutted. So yeah, hopefully that comes around again because I'm a big baby metal fan.
Yeah, that was it. That metal one with Tom Morello.
Oh,
They
yeah.
did that at Download, didn't they? That was excellent.
And the one with Electric Callboy. which
Oh,
is my,
yeah,
yeah.
my little boy's
Yeah.
favourite song at the moment.
But Blade from Within got pretty much to come back straight away, didn't they? So
Aye.
it's just, I'm sure
It
the
might
offer
be
was
a-
there.
they got. It might just be that they can't.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
got
that's
the
it, yeah,
commitment
yeah.
to
They might have
something.
been
They
asked
might have
and
been
stars.
asked, and it's just one of those things, and they'll come back when they can come back.
I think that's what people forget when they think that you just write names down on a list and then they
Yeah.
go and play.
Yeah. The logistics of
Well,
You know,
someone
try to
said,
book
And
when everyone's
bands will have
touring.
commitments for like 12, 18,
Yeah.
24
Yeah.
months in advance. So it may be that they were asked
Yeah.
and given the opportunity, and
well,
it just
someone
doesn't
said
work.
that about architects. It's like, well, he might have just decided it's his niece's birthday and he can't be asked
Yeah.
that day. It's, like, it's pretty much exactly that.
Yeah.
I was hoping that they might be on them in Japan, but then I realised that's like go to England and be like, I wonder if I'm in or on.
Yeah.
Just because I'm in the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Iron Maiden probably would be on
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
Yeah.
I'm playing down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, we've had some iconic performances over the years. I think one I wanted to mention as well, because people always say who's going to be the first female headliner at Download, and I think they always forget that we've already had one, and that is Guns N' Roses. We got, I'm going to pronounce her name right.
Oh.
Do you know what? That absolutely blew my mind, that. Because it's female fronted, I'm sure you said.
They're not fronted. I mean, in the 80s, maybe. Yeah, Melissa
Has that
Reese.
to announce something?
Yeah.
I
It was a-
really hurt my
it was
brain
a-
a bit, that.
Yeah, he was a beautiful man.
It's just got long hair.
That Carlsberg's not that strong, is it?
Yeah,
Too?
yeah. Melissa Reese, the keyboardist, synthesizer, backing vocals, and percussion. She headlined Download in 2018 with Guns N' Roses. So
Brilliant.
there has been one.
Ghost have had female.
Yeah, they haven't headlined though.
No, all right.
We'll talk about that in the next
All
section. Get potential headliners of the future.
Mhm.
So should we have a bit of a pause to refresh
You
our
got-
beers?
Is that all yours?
Oh, have you got
covered?
some more?
I'm trying to think. I think this is where I cheated.
Oh, okay. It's gone on to other festivals.
Because I thought it was just in general.
Just
And then
general,
it's
just anywhere.
Just anywhere. And so I was thinking about when we saw Juliette Lewis at Leeds.
Adele at Glastonbury.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so not being funny, but you bring Ed Sheeran on every podcast.
I was hoping he'd come out with Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I was thinking Juliette Lewis when we saw Juliette and the Licks at Leeds
At Leeds.
Festival. That was pretty cool. And Burdell.
When
But
Juliet
I realised I didn't read the question right. To be fair,
Did you
I'd
see
really-
the Distillers?
I saw Brody Dahl. I don't think I saw the
Oh,
Distillers.
I thought you were about to say that you saw the Distillers
No.
at Leeds, that like iconic
No.
Distillers performance. I was like, wow, I didn't realise that.
No.
Yeah, well, Juliette Lewis was only just kind of starting the Juliet and the Lick
Yeah,
stuff, and then
yeah.
she got up and stage dived, and there was like, I don't know if it was her agent or something at the side of the stage, just went, like really panicked. Like, there's like Hollywood A-lister there,
Well,
just fucking flying
Just
in
as
the
like a
crowd.
special mention before we do stuff, if we're talking about
Yeah.
bands at other festivals that we've seen, Skunk Anansie
Oh my
at
God.
Sonosphere.
Sonosphere.
Yeah.
Skin, like get that band and get
Oh,
that woman
yeah, why are
to
they not
download
gonna download is
immediately,
insane.
because that was phenomenal.
Yeah, it
What
was.
a
Oh,
woman,
she's an
what a
icon.
performer. Like they need to be there.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, if we're going to bring up other bands,
Yeah.
other festivals,
Melty.
She was good, Melty
She
at
was
Kendall
very
College.
it's got good voice.
Yeah.
I was crying along at Northern Star after a few pints on a Saturday afternoon.
On that note,
On that
I
note,
thought-
should we get another beer?
Yeah.
Right. We'll speak to you in a couple of seconds.
This is the Lowdown Podcast.
So let's turn the focus on the other side now to the attendees of Download Festival. And I asked the question on Reddit. And the question I asked, it's quite funny really, because my question was basically what can be made better for women at Download? And I was immediately downvoted on Reddit. So some people don't want it to be better for women at Download. I think that might be quite telling, unfortunately, for the attitude of some people that attend, and you can hang your heads in shame. So I'll read a couple that stood out. I think some positive things. Sad Seaweed 816 said, I usually feel very safe at Download. A huge change since I started going is, she's very pleased that the issue of women being pressured to show the boobs on the big screen, always uncomfortable. But basically between and during set, she explains, if a woman was on the camera, operators could easily see. They'd pressure a woman to show her boobs on the screen. and everyone would cheer. I even saw the men around her reach up and pull her top and bra down. It was horrible. And then a bit of a dig really at Download. He also wished they didn't have bands like Steel Panther play anymore. They're so sexist and cringeworthy. It's one of the reasons I'm going to sell my ticket this year. I remember they played on the main stage and the whole boobs out thing had been stopped and they were actually complaining about it. I find it unacceptable. It's not funny anymore. I think I've seen a lot of people say that the Steel Panther shtick is
It's a
getting
hard
old.
one though, isn't it? It's a hard line because
If
for
you-
me, I always think the sending that behaviour up, it's a bit of it's making a mockery of that 80s
Yeah.
kind of glam rock, which was a lot of, it was incredibly sexist.
Yeah.
And you look at some of the videos of like Motley Crue and stuff now and
Yeah.
you kind of cringe like,
Mm.
And
time
I
capsule,
do
isn't it?
know there are women that scramble to get across that barrier and
Yeah.
go and see Steel Panther wanting to do that. And I
Yeah.
guess it's a choice that they've made because
Yeah.
they want
and
to.
Yeah.
not to get into it too much, but we saw that a year or two ago with the whole Rammstein debacle and
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, it kind of prompted that conversation of like, look, women are allowed to want to do what women want
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not for everyone. Would I want to get involved in that kind of business or, scramble to
With a 62-year-old
Yeah.
German bloke.
exactly, or scramble to the front of a festival to, flash my tits at Steel Panther?
No.
Not for me, but if a consenting grown woman really wants to do that, then all
Yeah.
power to her, I guess.
There is a
Like,
line, isn't there? I
there
think
is.
the pressure if seeking out
It is.
young
and
women
it's
on
the consent.
shoulders,
It's
yeah.
that
Yeah.
consent piece that you've got to want to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely not saying I totally agree with.
Yeah, because
the
there was
comment
like
saying-
people booing and all that if they weren't.
Yeah.
It was like that's not on.
No,
Yeah,
and
no,
God, I'm
that's
not
bad.
saying that at all. And I totally agree that it's a good change that they've made of stopping that kind
Yeah.
of behaviour, hanging the camera on people and the booing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because that by its nature takes away the idea of these women are consenting to do that.
Yeah.
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 You
if
you
it's
see
fresh.
women now, they pan the camera away very quickly, but you get women who are like, trying really quickly
Yeah, we
to
said
get
that
turn the
it's like
top
they
up.
almost panic and they go, oh shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pan away, 'cause they're gonna... Yeah.
It's a hard line, isn't it?
This-
Because women get to make that choice for themselves and
Yeah.
there's behaviour and,
I
they're grown
think-
up. And
I think there is always that risk, and I'm going to be there. Will someone please think of the children? But who knows what age them girls, women
There
are
is.
as
Oh,
well.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's true.
That always makes me think like,
Yeah.
put your phone away because who's on that stage?
Yeah. We've got Fluffy Caterpillar has also agreed with that and I said, I remember this and thought it was awful. I felt so sorry for one poor young lass who got booed because she wouldn't get her boobs out. And like you, I said, men reaching up to
Ugh.
rip all the women's top down.
That's rough. That,
It's
isn't it?
awful.
Yeah, that's really
Back
bad.
in 07, I did have my bikini top ripped off by some guys, which was not fun, having to walk back to my tent with my arms over my boobs and subsequent attention that brought. That's awful.
like, that's just sexual
That's
assault.
sexual assault,
in
yeah.
public, like
Yes.
on a big screen in front of 80,000 people.
Well, you saw it on that.
Like,
You watched the Woodstock documentary.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was all rife in that one. It just
Yeah.
men. It's awful. And
It's-
if it's not your body, keep your fucking hands to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just needs to be called out for what it is. It's sexual,
It's sexual assault.
in front of 80,000 people
Yeah.
on giant screens that's being recorded by Sky Arts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's bonkers when you
Yeah.
think of it like it's fucking mental.
Yeah. Yeah, the people are so
Brazen.
that think that the rules
Yeah.
don't apply or
Yeah,
that they
that's
can
what I
just
was gonna
fucking.
say. I
Or
don't
do they
know
just
why.
think that they don't realise that that's what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's brazenness or if it's a genuine,
Mm.
they don't know what it is. They don't know that what they're doing is
Like you
sexual
say, 'cause
assault and a
it's
crime.
it's televised and on YouTube and stuff. And like you say, going back tens of years, that was always the gig footage, wasn't it?
Mm.
Well,
Like,
if
even
you
with like a
think back to the
female.
Motley Crue and that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, exactly.
celebrated
Yeah.
almost.
That's it. So
You know,
again, it's
And that's counteractive to what we're talking about, women
Yeah.
getting up on stage and playing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's awful.
Mm.
So yeah, a lot of heat on Steel Panther in this thing. Another thing, a lot of people saying they feel very safe. A few reports of people being spiked and things like that, which is an unfortunate. It's awful, and it does happen.
Yeah,
Everywhere,
I'm
doesn't
sure-
it?
I'm sure it does.
Again, yeah. I replied to this one actually, and I said I wish security would be more interested in security rather than just seeing if you try to sneak a beer in.
Yeah, that's probably a good show.
Okay,
And I think I've never thought anywhere, being in a pub, in a club, at a festival, I need to watch my drink here. I've never had that as a lad, as a boy.
No,
I've never
no.
thought I need to watch who's around me and stuff.
I feel like I haven't a download because I've always been with my dad
Yeah.
and my brother.
Yeah.
But if I probably was just with you, or I'd probably be a
Yeah,
lot
you'd be
more
conscious of
open
it.
But
and
you've done it.
conscious.
You've done it just with
me
Jodie.
and
haven't you?
Jodie have been before on our own. We went once on our own, and then there was me, Jodie, and Emma went when we were like 18, I think, 18, 19. We went, and it was just us, and we felt totally safe, but we were 18, 19.
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
definitely.
you feel completely safe when you're 18, 19, and looking back, a blessing in that, but I think it was 2011 or 2012, I can't remember. Mike, you'll be able to tell me. System of a Down.
2011.
There we go. Jodie went to see System of a Down. I went to see Alice Cooper. So, we've separated on our own, felt completely safe, got absolutely hammered. And with hindsight, was it the most sensible thing to have done at sort of 19 years old to get that drunk in a field of however many tens of thousands on my own?
Yeah.
Probably not. But maybe it was luck, or maybe it was just the fact that, I've always felt very safe at Download, and you're always surrounded by like-minded people that you see as family. So, I've always felt very, very safe there. But
I've seen sketchy behaviour.
Yeah.
I remember in that Hair of the Dog, there was a girl who was particularly drunk, and the people around her, I think we made sure the security had a bit on
we
her.
did. We kind of pointed it out, didn't we?
And I think it is that sort of thing that I know we've I'm not sure if we've mentioned them yet, but Safe Gigs for Women sort of promote is that kind of awareness, like is what you're seeing, does it feel right?
Yeah.
Is it, it's not hard to say, you all right, do you know these people that you're with, and do you know what do you need help getting back to your tent?
I think everyone's safety is everyone's responsibility at somewhere like Download. And if you look and see someone in a bit of bother, it's not hard to go and find someone who works there and go, they're having a bad time here, can you help them out?
Yeah.
2019, you and Dad went to the toilet, because obviously there's a lot of difference in the queuing for male and female toilets. It was particularly muddy. It was in the village. I slipped in the mud, and a lad picked me up, and I was like, I'm fine. He was like, you're on your own. Do you want me to wait with you? And I was like, no, I'm all right. And he was like, I won't stand right by you. I'm just going to stand a few paces back, but I'll wait until your people come back.
I had a very similar experience, actually. Remember in 2013, and I hadn't gone with you, and I was meeting you there because I was staying with Amy.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got into the festival on my own, and cat hair in my mouth from Kate's blanket. And I got there on my own. You guys had already gone in and camped. I had my phone on me, and I was like, I'll find them, I'll just text them. I was loaded up with camping gear and beer and everything. Get in there, no signal. So I'm in, and it was when like the village was on grass and the camping was all around it. So I'm sat in the village, kind of panicking a little bit, because I'm like, how the hell am I going to find them? Trying to get my phone to work. And this guy, who, the only way I can explain him is he's like stereotypical, you'd probably cross the road if you saw him in the street of a night, if you were like a lone woman, massive, like cargo shorts, big boots, beard, covered in face piercings. Yeah, and he comes over and he's like, you all right, love? And I was like, yeah. I've got no signal and I can't find my friends. And he hands me his phone and he goes, ring your friends, I've got a signal. So I ring Jodie. She's like, I'm coming to get you. I know where you are. We'll come get you. Hand my phone back. I say, thank you. And he's like, is your friend coming? I said, yeah, she's coming. And he went to walk off and he goes, do you mind if I just sit with you until your friends come? I don't really feel good leaving you if you haven't got a phone that's working. And I was like, oh, I'll be fine. And he was like, I'm just going to sit at the end of the bench. And he just sat, waited with me. Jodie came, waved us off. Had a good weekend, girls. Stay safe. Disappeared. Yeah. So that's the kind of vibe that you want
as well. Yeah. Sometimes I think, people can be creepy, can't they? But that's what it's like. That's kind, and that's a nice thing to do.
I think it's an important message for blokes as well, and young blokes that are coming through to behave like that. Look after people, because everyone there's someone's daughter, sister, friend, whatever. Just look after people.
Yeah, just be decent.
Yeah, absolutely. So, a couple more bits on Reddit. So, Shadow Heart 97. I went for the first time last year. Had an absolute blast. I genuinely felt really safe there. Of course, the obvious would be to keep all your belongings safe in a small bag. The amount of phone thieves were outrageous. It's getting worse everywhere, actually. Yeah. And everyone's saying the toilets are huge.
Toilet.
Put them everywhere.
Toilets so bad, and I have to say, when we went to Kennel Call, the female urinals were brilliant.
Yeah.
If they could get some of them, and I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, but some of them in Guess would alleviate a lot of the queuing. In particular, because I did use them. Were they over by second?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just great because you're not, no one's just sat there for like, I don't know what people do in them. Well, I probably do, but
You don't want to know.
yeah, like, what are you doing? Just get in and out. Like, they're disgusting.
Yeah.
And we've said this a few times, haven't we? Like, what are you doing?
Toilets everywhere are just such a problem if you're a woman. That isn't a download specific
No.
thing. It's every festival, it's every gig you go to.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And I honestly don't know how they fix it. I feel for, the logistics of setting up a festival, because I don't know how you fix it. Men can stand up at urinals and piss and be in and out, or they can go up to the side of a fence or anything like that.
You shouldn't. But...
For women, you need to go in and sit down somewhere. I know they have the urinals. I don't particularly like them. They're not my cup of tea, but it's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
And you just, when me and Glenn were there last year and we were going to toilet, he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, queuing. I'm genuinely just queuing.
I honestly
for 15, 20 minutes, you're just in a queue.
I don't know.
I put this on Reddit and actually got some upvotes for a change. The queues for toilets for women are unacceptable. All of the men in our group can go for a pee, a beer, and grab something to eat before any of the girls are back from the toilet.
Yeah.
And in Guest last year in RIP, it was awful.
Yeah, the toilets were
and there was
ridiculous as well.
They're absolutely rubbish as well, because you go in and there's a bulkhead straight there, isn't there, with a mirror and a sink on it. No one can get round it.
Yeah, they need like a vanity area.
Everyone goes to the first toilets there and block the whole thing up. And they had a huge empty bit of grass next to it. They could have had the female urinals, more toilets or anything.
You shouldn't have to plan your day around or plan an hour ahead for when you need a piss.
I'm not going to have a beer.
It's like, that's it. It's like by the time you've just had one, you may as well get in the queue again, because you're going to need
I have enough anxiety about having to go for a shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like planning my shits around the I probably need one in about an hour and a half, so I'll
join a queue now.
If you're a woman, just join the queue.
That's what I mean. I honestly have no idea how you do it, and I think the only way to resolve it is just to put more fucking toilets in more urinals.
As well. Guess there was space in Guess.
Apparently, it's the second biggest outlay after the booking the bands.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
There's like an operations report that they publish, and it tells you how many for safety, for how many people are at the festival, and then there's a ratio of what it should be for toilets to people. We'll have to dig out and see what the number is. But I think when we've been to Lytham Festival, and even that they have the men's urinals, there's never a queue.
No.
There's never a queue for them. And you literally just walk in, walk out, it's absolutely fine. But the cubicles are just, I don't know, honestly.
And there's more and more women going every year, which is great and which is what we want, but it just makes the problem even more unbearable.
Yeah. And then women, it's just a...
I wonder if they do it off, where there is a ratio, there must be, how would they know how many men and women are going?
Yeah, you don't check your gender, do you, on a thing, or which toilet
do they
you
make
need
an
to
assumption that X% of the crowd are going to be...
Possibly.
Maybe it needs to be a bit...
Maybe it needs a bit more
driven.
But that opens another debate, doesn't it, about your mixed gender toilets or that.
But it makes...
Well, it's if you need a sit-down wee or not,
essentially.
It
is. It is. And it's that, they try and make it, even or whatever. They need more women's toilets. They need more women's toilets than they need men's toilets. And it's the same in every venue and every pub and every club around this country, is that there's no point having women's toilets that are the same size as men's toilets when men's need 2 cubicles and a wall of urinals.
Exactly.
Make the women's toilets bigger and just put more of them in there.
Do you remember, was it at Sonosphere or was it at Download? Sonosphere, where on the main stage, all the way around where the posters are, it was a urinal all the way around. So that's where the blokes.
So when we stood for Maiden, we just walked 10 yards over, and there was a trough running right the way around. It was brilliant.
What a dream! Yeah, what a dream.
So another one, weight loss. I mean, almost everyone said more toilets. This person said more toilets. Arena toilets in 2023 were better than 2024, which is amazing.
I would say that.
I agree.
Yeah, the ones by Main on the Guest side, on the RIP side, they were perfect. I don't know how they managed to get them to work so well, or if it was just fewer people going to them. But never had to queue. Last year, nightmare. Those toilets by third.
Third. Joe.
Yeah, I know. I was just going
Whoever
to say
thought
that.
of putting those toilets right outside the tent that Busted were playing?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
a genius move that
Yeah.
was.
Queuing in the tent to go for a piss.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
No.
said 30 to 45 minutes for a pee last year was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That
Maybe
is
you're not.
too much. You know?
It means you're not only missing sets, you're also at risk of missing meet-up times with others in your group.
And also like getting a UTI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
pissing yourself.
But I mean, in terms of a business sense as well, you're also not buying any
No,
beer.
buying-
You know,
Yeah.
No, no.
you might think I'm going to skip the last pint because I'm not going to have a. It
Yeah,
all,
yeah,
all
yeah,
adds up to
yeah.
it, and yeah, like you say, UTI is safety. People not drinking enough because they're worried about having
Yeah.
a queue
I
for
don't
a
think
pee.
that the amount we pay for an RIP ticket, I think they need to up the game in guest
Yeah.
with that because
Yeah.
you shouldn't be having to queue for an hour to go for a piss when you're paying that much for a ticket.
I think
You know,
Oh,
that-
anyway,
it should-
350 quid for a
Shouldn't be a
general
luxury,
ticket.
should it? Should be,
Yeah.
And people have got, and I always think this with going RIP, people have got health conditions that they've maybe booked into RIP because they know they can manage them through
Yeah, the
having
comfort.
additional facilities and they can afford that privilege. But then it's undone, isn't it? Like I don't get a lot of one, and if I need to loo, I need to go. And one of the reasons RIP appeals in particular is because I should have the access quickly, and I don't necessarily want to take a pass away from or jump a queue for a
Yeah.
disabled toilet or somebody who, can't manage it as I can. And I feel like it's creating that, and it probably putting more pressure on the disabled queue as well, because I bet people that went this year are probably applying for passes that didn't last year for the same reason.
Yeah. But I guess you're right. Yeah, no matter what price you pay for a ticket,
It's £350
Well,
You
it's
want
a lot of money.
It's a
You should
basic,
be. It's a
innit?
basic
you
human
need
right.
Basic,
food,
you
you
need to
need
go for a
water,
piss.
and you need a toilet.
Yeah.
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 It's making me need a pee. But yeah, also weight loss here has said, I've always felt safe to I spend time on my own frequently because my partner and I have slightly different tastes, and I'm more an at the back person where he likes to be up the front.
Okay, cool.
So a lot of people, feel safe. Someone suggested maybe they could do a women's only section camping for people who chose it. I mean, if you chose to be,
That's
Yeah,
not
I
a
guess,
bad
I
show,
mean,
that.
you don't have to force to be.
you
do
don't
you?
have to be forced to be, but especially if there are, I see it quite a bit on like Facebook groups and stuff, like people going on their own.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
men going to a festival on their own is very different from a woman going to a festival on her
Yeah,
own. So,
yeah.
we kind of joked when we went to Sonosphere that year, and I opened my tent, not knowing what colour it was, and I had a bright pink tent. And it was like,
it's
well, if you want to put a sign up saying "Lone
Yeah,
woman
Jesus
sleeping here,"
Christ, yeah.
then you might as
Might as
well.
put a flag up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's all, and I think that's what you think about when you're a woman
Yeah.
going on
Yeah.
your own.
Yeah.
Is I'm going to be in a tent on my own. Well, am I going to feel safe? Is anyone going to come in?
Yeah.
Am I going to? And I don't like sleeping in hotel rooms on my own because I'm constantly awake at the sound of everything. Of is someone going to come in?
Yeah.
I'll probably watch too much true crime stuff and it's warped my brain a little bit. But it's the way a lot of women think, just day to day life of right. If I'm going here on my own, how do I keep myself safe? So it's not a terrible idea.
No.
No.
There might be a market for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely.
And aside from the safety aspect, people, it's common interest,
The social
Yeah,
side.
nice to have a bit
Yeah.
of bit of girl power kind of side of it.
Yeah, you could have it could have its own shower block. It could have,
Yeah, the showers. The showers, I mean, we're very lucky now we have, we go in RIP and, the showers are fine. But the one year I showered in general camping was unpleasant, shall we say.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're like now. That was 2013, I
Yeah,
think.
they're pretty much the same. Just
They're
a big,
pretty much the
just
same.
a
It
big tent.
felt like cattle. It felt like some sort of farmyard
It's a
situation, and the
crazy
water was freezing
experience,
cold.
I don't think.
Not a woman's
we
only
don't care
issue,
as well,
but
do we?
It's-
No,
it's-
we don't.
Yeah, that's
It's
not a woman's
but
issue.
there is
but
sometimes circumstances where women want to
need a
shower.
shower, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the time we went in there? And there
In
was,
the women's
No, the
showers.
women's
It's-
Man, that's the end of today's
Yeah.
women.
It's
What
all
is the problem?
yeah.
We're in the,
Oh, that
Teresa.
bloke.
and we are. So there's a guy stood there, bolloco, on his phone, looking down, and we walked in, stripped off, had a shower, got
But
dry.
Brian stood right by the door.
It was right by the door, bolloco, so everyone could see him when they were walking past, and he was still there when we'd finished and we were all done. So he was clearly
Guy getting
Getting
off.
off.
like
on it.
getting off on people seeing him. Bolloco.
So another
Yeah.
good reply. I think people have hard names to read. Tinkeratu. But overall, it's fantastic. I think the download crowds tend to lean a bit more overall respectful. Obviously, you get a few counts, as you do everywhere. Thanks for censoring that for me. I'm non-binary but female presenting, and all my female friends that I've been with have rarely had issues. Overall, people will be more willing to help you than not if you do encounter an issue with predatory people. That being said, lines get crossed fast in pits where people think it will go unnoticed or will be seen as an accident. I think that's a good thing. If people, good thing to mention, not a good thing. If people are crowd surfing over, keep your hands in respectful places if you can.
Yeah, and I was going to say this before, but I can't remember for certain if it was her. But I'm sure that Courtney LaPlante has said something about this, about when she doesn't go into the crowd as much anymore because of that, because of men just assaulting her, just groping her when they're in the crowd. So, and I can't be certain, but I think it was Courtney LaPlante. It was like a female sort of front woman of a big band, and I'm pretty sure it was Courtney saying, "Just don't do it anymore, because when I do it, I just get assaulted."
Yes.
It's awful. It's not good, is it, at all?
Yeah, but then the positive things. I have always felt safe. I haven't ever had any issues personally. Toilet issues, issues accessing toilets, yes.
Toilet issues.
And I've always found it really positive, like safe space. I think what the Safe Gigs for Women are doing is really, really good and really positive, sharing that kind of message. And it is like you say, it's really simple. Just look out for other human beings and don't
be dead.
Don't assault them.
Yeah, don't be dead.
Really,
keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, I think unfortunately we're heading a little bit more into this. I think people have referred to it a few times as this main character syndrome thing.
Yeah.
And I think if you get the less empathetic people get, the worse everything gets for everybody.
Yeah.
So just look out for everyone else, and everyone else will look out for you, and you'll have a much better time. We just mentioned Safe Gigs for Women, so I'll just skip on to that because we went and visited their store last year, didn't we? We all got some patches, little white patches with the plectrums on. A little bit about their story. Creating safer, more inclusive spaces at gigs by empowering attendees and educating venues, promoters and musicians to prevent harassment and discrimination. Join us in building a culture of safety and respect. And Tracy W., the founder, said a woman's place is in the mosh pit.
That's cool.
And also, if you are at a festival and you're feeling a little bit unsafe, or you need some help, support, or someone to talk to, or somewhere to chill out, to kind of gather your thoughts, or calm down, or you just need to get away from somebody, the Safe Gigs for Women tent offers that service, I believe. Rosie and Kate, you went and
we did.
Yeah.
We went and had a little chat with them, and we got some patches and stuff. They had some sofas. There was a couple of girls in there. We didn't speak to them. We just spoke to the women who were like working volunteers and the stand. But there were a couple of young lasses in there, whether or not they were just needed to get away, needed a minute. Hopefully they were okay and nothing bad had happened to them, and they were just looking for a peaceful 5 minutes. But they have sofas and stuff, and the women there were lovely as well.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, we got some plectrums, we got some patches.
Yeah, and they sort of talked us through, and it is like that what they were saying is a lot of these situations could be avoided if you were just kind of looked out for each other and asked if someone was okay, and that we're kind of innocent bystanders really, but we let things happen without realising.
Yeah, well, you get caught up in your own world sometimes if you just kind of look around a bit more and just think, does that seem right?
Yeah, and I think it's important to say as well, like, we're sat here as women and we kind of see it, it's so nice. Like, we go now to download and we're in our 30s, and I started going on when I was 18. You got a festival since you were like 13 or something, so it's really nice now to see like the younger girls there, teenagers there, early 20s, and they look cold. they look cold. We're there in our thermals and our walking boots, and they look beautiful and amazing, and all power to them. But
we always were in our thermals.
We've just never been that type, have we?
I don't think that really existed the same back then, though. It seems to
maybe not. But I mean, they look amazing, and they're having a great time, and they're doing all like the little girly pop dancing, Slipknot and stuff, and I'm all for it. But I think we see it and we kind of go, keep an eye out,
be careful.
And we're very conscious of it because we're women and we've been in those situations where we're both sat here being like, we've had great times and the best experiences at festivals and gigs. I guarantee if we wanted to be honest, we could say, someone grabbed us, we got groped at this point, that wasn't very nice, we didn't like that. but we've kind of come through it mostly unscathed.
Mhm.
So we're kind of aware of it. But I think it's important for like blokes to do the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, to just kind of keep an eye out and not like, you know, keep an eye out for the men. If you see some man that's you think are a bloke that's been doing something dodgy, like you don't have to confront him, but you can certainly like keep a close eye and, you know, make sure that people are okay.
We're all extremely protective of each other,
Yeah.
regardless of what your sex
Yeah.
is. We're all,
Yeah.
and then that helps when you go in with a group of friends you've known for a long time. You've all got each other's backs.
Yeah.
You're all looking out for
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
We're all very protective of each other, aren't we?
It's not even a burden because it's so easy to just go. We've done it in pubs and clubs and rock nights and stuff where we've just flagged to a bouncer or something like.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on.
Although there was a particular.
Just keep an eye on them because that doesn't seem quite right, and you can see that they do.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. It's not none of it's a burden. Just every now and again, just make sure your eyes are open and if some and it doesn't just extend to women. If you see a young lad getting a lot of harassment off, you know, some big knobhead that wants to push someone around, just look out for each other.
And not everything is dark and sexual and deep. Like sometimes it is. If there's somebody passed out drunk, just look. You don't want someone getting hypothermia or sunburn. Whichever year you go on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or dehydration or all sorts.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah. So to finish, well, not finish, but just finish that section on a bit more of a positive spin, though, because I've been going to festivals with you for now 20 years, and Rosie, we went to first festival with you in 2010. So you're obviously having a good time to keep going every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having a great time.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Won't be stopping until Kate's back gives out.
Yeah. They're done then.
My ticket's just gone on Twitter. Yeah. No, brilliant. And do you know what? It's really nice. I don't know, obviously now we're doing RIP, but there's something quite nice about getting ready in the morning and then pods, and it's a completely different experience, and it is really, really nice. And the festival seems evolved. The kind of embracing of femininity within it as well, like seeing all the girls in their outfits, and that whole influencer scene's there now. It never was when we were sort of younger, but it is nice. And but yeah, like I say, I'm happy in my thermals and what.
Yeah, we're not going to stop going anytime soon.
No.
And it has changed a lot. I do sort of look back on going to those sort of festivals 18, 19, and we say that those sort of outfits and stuff, we did fancy dress, and I wore next to nothing some years.
True.
And it's just part of what you do when you're that age, and it's really nice to see all the influences and stuff. If nothing else, they make the place look fantastic.
Yeah, they do.
Like
it's
it's in a sea of walking boots and thermals and us in our many layers of tights and band t-shirts, it's always nice to see the gorgeous makeup and the crazy outfits and stuff. Like, it's so much fun.
Something's got to make the festival
different and
relevant and different as well. Like that. You can't just be, we don't have the advertisements in the back of Kerrang and that's the only reason people are going and seeing it. You've got to have that, that's, it's not just Glastonbury that's got that kind of, I can be sparkly at Download if I want.
And I think just beyond that as well, it just, having that diversity there, whether it's in the crowd or on the stages, completely changes the vibe of the festival. The lineup this year is so good, and part of it being so good is, you've got right through the lineup from the main stage right down to those sort of supporting stages, the smaller stages, and out into like the doghouse and stuff. You've got these women that are just bringing completely different, varied things, and it makes the lineup so much. I don't know, just so much more varied.
Richer, isn't it?
It really is.
It is. And I think then that attracts a different audience.
It does.
Which I like. And then I think Josh mentioned it actually about like the Sleep Token gigs. It was like, there's a lot of partners all there together. Whether male or female, but it was a huge mix, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was like a predominantly male
no.
at all. And that will definitely bring that more diversity to the gigs.
Seeing
is brilliant.
Families and stuff as well now.
It's
which there's some kids that I've seen there probably are a bit young, but it is kind of nice. It is a bit more of a family day out, and
you never know. The next one might be Emily.
Oh God, yeah.
The next young woman in the group.
Yeah.
The time will come, Mike.
I couldn't imagine doing it at another festival. I will caveat that. I couldn't imagine taking
Yeah.
Seb to Reading and Leeds, for example.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
No.
So
No.
I think there is something to be said about downloads specifically for families and a good diverse group,
That's
because I
probably,
could not
Yeah.
imagine it.
It's probably
anywhere
another
else.
episode altogether.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
have to,
yeah.
we'll have to do that because I
Yeah,
think
we will.
download has got a little bit to do in terms of the family aspect of it,
Mm.
in terms of actually putting something on
In
for
the-
women,
yeah,
even,
kids,
'cause,
yeah.
but yeah, so we
Brilliant.
that was a good debate though. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
It was-
it's good.
got a bit serious at times, but I think
No, it's
you've got to,
important.
haven't you? So
Yeah.
on a positive thing, I want to talk about. We obviously said before about Melissa Reese with headlining with Guns N' Roses. Who do we think's next?
It's got to be Hailstorm, innit? They've got to be.
I don't know.
Probably
I don't know if they're quite there. I think they need a little nudge over the edge, like I said
Mm.
before. I think Spirit Box will be there soon.
Yeah.
I think Nightwish would headline if they came back.
If they came back and did something moderately decent on an album, I think they would be.
They'd
probably-
be a fantastic
Mm.
headliner. But yeah, I think Spirit Box, probably Ghost.
Ghost,
Yeah,
obviously.
Ghost is maybe the next one. They
I think-
seem to be on that trajectory. They seem to really have that momentum behind them now that, you know, in 12, 24 months, they could be up there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
as long as he
absolutely.
keeps, as long as he doesn't, firing higher again.
Yeah, well, there's that.
We've also got. There's also Linkin Park.
There is,
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Linkin
Good point.
Park.
That is
Yeah.
a good shout. I'd love that.
I think.
What about,
Evanescence? If they come back, I think it should probably be.
Evanescence.
They're long overdue, that headliner spot. And I think 2023
I think
proved
that
that.
proved it, yeah.
It just
Mm.
proved it. Like, that was a headliner set if
Yeah.
ever there was one.
Yeah. Do you think Paramore would ever do it? And where would they sit in the
They don't
lineup?
ever seem to come over.
They'd
here,
have,
man.
I mean, they'd have to headline.
They
If they
would.
were going to do it, they'd have to headline. They're
Mm.
too big to do anything
Seen 'em-
else.
Yeah, I saw him headlining Leeds, and
Mm.
what were they headlining now? No, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
maybe-
they were co-headlining with Queens of the Stone Age.
There we go.
Yeah. I saw him
They
support Taylor
didn't-
Swift last year.
Oh, yeah.
What was that like?
That's fantastic. I mean,
Yeah,
what a voice
they're
she's
brilliant.
got.
Oh, she is
Yeah.
incredible.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's like teeny tiny when you see her stood on stage, and she opens her mouth and this voice comes out that's absolutely incredible
She's
for the
got a
size of
lot
her.
better as a performer as
Yeah.
well. I think
Mm.
she's so
Yeah,
like confident and just
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
self-assured
yeah.
now. I think it's
No,
really
they
good.
were fantastic. Yeah, they were great. I
Mm.
loved them. First time I'd ever seen them. I've been a fan of Paramore since the
Yeah. me
Kerrang
too.
days. I remember Pressure coming out and loving that song. So I can see them. They'd have to headline. I can see them doing it in that they deserve to do it, and I think
Yeah.
it'd go down well. Do I
Mm.
think they'll do it? No.
No,
No,
I just feel like they always
Yeah.
swing to Leeds and Reading, and I
Yeah.
don't know why, but they just do.
it's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah,
So many
I can
bands
see
do.
Linkin Park.
Yeah.
I can see obviously Evanescence. I just can't see Paramore. And it's not that I don't think they should. I would love it if they did.
Yeah, I'm the
Mm.
same. It feels like too much of a controversial booking. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't think it's any more controversial than probably Sleep Talking have been.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Fall Out Boy. They're that similar kind of
very true.
era of Fall Out Boy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's not forget that Sleep Talking have unofficial members
Oh, yeah.
singing with them, so we
Yeah.
will see some.
Ah, yeah, that is actually
Well,
a great shout for
Yeah.
this year. So they have the three girls who
Yeah.
sing with them.
the choir. I can't remember what they're called now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ghost and Spirit Box, I
Yeah.
think, are
Yeah.
going to be the next ones that'll do it.
Yeah,
Probably Ghost first, I would
Yeah.
say, given where they are now.
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see Evanescence do it in the next 5 years. Nightwish when they finally come back. I think
Yeah.
will probably
Yeah.
do it. It's quite exciting, really, because
It
we're
is.
not on the rinse and repeat headliners now, are we?
Mm.
The whole world's kind of opened up to.
I tell you
get-
what, if next year any one of those bands was in that one of those top spots, I'd be so excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great headliner any one of those would make.
Probably a fucking Panic at the Disco or something.
What do you, we haven't seen you in a little bit. What do you make of the new additions to the lineup and stuff?
I can't remember what the last editions were now.
It's really difficult. We said it
Yeah.
looking at the poster when they
It was
released
because they
the
released the poster and then,
Then
like
did-
20 minutes
Yeah.
later did the day splits or something.
and then it's almost like I don't know what was new and what was not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what was new and what was not. I mean, I love the lineup.
Yeah,
I do think the day splits just make it.
yeah, absolutely.
You just see the vision more, and it was the same as last year. Last year, I was such
Oh,
a Debbie Downer.
Shine down.
Yeah. Until you saw the
Until I
actual
saw the day
splits.
splits, I was such a Debbie Downer.
Yeah,
And then the day splits came out, and I was like, oh, I kind of get it now.
Yeah.
You can see a
Kind of
day
makes
put
sense.
together, can't you?
Yeah.
Like that Friday on main stage for me is
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
So who is it? Shine Down.
That's
I'm a big Shine. I
really
like Shine Down.
Mm.
They've got some bangers. I'll go watch Shine
Yeah.
Down. But I think, is there a clash with like someone on second?
the Sex Pistols and the Darkness. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really wanted to see the Darkness.
they were good in 20.
They were very
Yeah, that's a bad clash actually. The Sunday for me on main is really
Oh,
good.
that's going
Is
to
it
be a
like
hellish day. That's for
Ginger,
clashes.
Meshuggah,
Spirit Box, Bullet, and then Korn.
Yeah.
I struggle because we were saying me and Mike were going to come up with our like non-negotiables, the ones that we really can't miss, and they're in there. And then you're going, I can't miss them unless they clash with.
Yeah. You get two non-negotiables.
Two
Yeah.
non-negotiables. So like that Sunday for us, the second stage for me is going to be
Like Jerry Cantrell.
Jerry Cantrell, and I can't miss him. But then
Then isn't it
Meshuggah
Lorna
and Spirit
Shaw?
Box, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Can't vibe with Lorna Shaw. They're just not for me.
yeah.
Just
I
not
think
for me.
I like
that's
them
all.
musically. I just
Yeah, I
can't.
Yeah.
get Randy's voice,
But yeah, I think for me, the Sunday, I'll probably just camp at Main, which is
Yeah.
alwa's nice for a
Yeah,
Sunday.
it's
It
great.
is.
Your legs are knackered, your feet
Yeah.
are knackered.
You just pop back to guest for a beer
yeah,
and stuff. It's
yeah,
great.
but from once Ginger are on, that's
Yeah.
a clean run for me.
Yeah, that is a hell of a day.
What's going to be interesting, because you are getting into more bands, through like obviously looking, researching, like we're going to be up early.
Oh, we'll be there for the first
We're
band.
going to be up
we're
early.
going to be with Rockfit.
We'll be at
doing some
Rockfit
Oh my
in the
God,
morning.
yeah.
We're
Ninjas.
all going to
We're all
Rockfit,
going to
Kate.
Rockfit
Friday morning.
Can't wait.
after our biggest night, which is
Friday
the
morning.
Thursday.
Friday morning.
That's the one you got most time, isn't it? And it'll
Sweat
get
it
us in-
out.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what you do. You sweat it out.
Yeah,
in time for a bit of CKY in Boston Manor.
So we all packing lycra,
Oh,
Taking
let's
the
do
gym
it.
kit.
yeah.
like ironic lycra or serious lycra.
Or like Jane Fonda or something like that.
Get your Gymshark
That would be
gear
so
on.
much better.
Yeah, proper like electric cowboy.
Yeah. What's the countdown now? 90 something days.
Oh, let's have a look. What are we on? Of course, I can always see it when I don't need to see it. And then
Yeah, it's got to be 90 something days now.
Yes, to be.
We've
That'll
just
fly
got
in,
a,
especially with your trip in
I was going
between.
to say, we've just got to
Yeah.
circle the globe, come back,
Yeah.
a couple of weeks, back in work, and then it's
At least
time to pack the car.
there we go. 94 days, 12 hours, and
94
51
days.
minutes.
Oof. Comes around quick, doesn't it?
We
Yeah.
started some more detailed planning, haven't we, this week, Mike?
We have.
On what we need to take in the van and
Oh,
yeah.
how we might get all that in there and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I think we're going to rock up just in a tent and go in Johnny's van. Well, it's for me, you, and Dad in the tent.
Isn't that what we normally do?
Yeah, rather
Yeah.
than take my van.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you're travelling down in your van.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see. Oh,
Okay.
we'll have to all try and fit. Won't we? It might be a bit of a.
There's only
Well, there
it'll be
won't be
better
any
than
more
when
of
we
a
tried to-
squeeze than we went in when the
Yeah,
Range
that was
Rover and
great.
fucking
didn't see. Get was
Yeah.
like drip breathing through a straw. We just put Dad and Kate in and packed around you, isn't it?
Yeah, we did.
No, it'd be all right, won't it?
Yeah. So it's getting very exciting now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I think I'll be keen looking out for the food announcements while I'm.
I was
in
going to
the-
say that'll be the next time we'll probably
No, the one we're all looking for.
catch up. The main headliners.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bunny
Bunny
Mans.
Man's.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ken's
star of
Barbie.
the show.
Ken's
Ken's
Barbie.
Barbie.
Oh, yeah.
That was a
They were a
good
game
find.
changer
Yeah,
last year.
Something
They-
those little steak sandwiches they
Oh,
did
yeah.
with that.
They're beautiful.
It was
For
like a
like-
little
the
tomato
relish.
chili relish thing.
Yeah.
Oh, just
Never had a Bunny
survived off
Man's.
them.
I've never
You
had
didn't
one.
Never
have-
had one.
You've never had a Bunny Man's?
No, it's probably because I need to then plan my shit an hour and a
Yeah.
half in advance.
That's it. More toilets and Johnny can have a Bunny Man's.
Yeah. And on that note,
Maybe we'll try something new this year.
yeah, that's
Shit in
good.
that house.
Yeah.
Not that new for Kate.
Outed in Longpod.
Ah, brilliant.
Brilliant.
On that note, we'll
Yeah,
wrap
well,
it up.
thanks for joining us, guys. And yeah,
Thanks very much.
Great
Thanks for having
catch
us.
Thanks for having
Yeah, thanks
us.
for joining us again. Yeah.
Happy International Women's Day.
Yeah.
A couple of days late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
because men have organised it.
Exactly. The patriarchy strikes again.
we arranged this around our availability, not yours. Bro, thanks very much, and we'll catch you up next week.
Right.